Bella, welcome back to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. I am so excited to bring you something so incredibly special for me today. I've mentioned it in one video, and I did mention it on a live the other day. So today is Sunday, the 9th of July. And you will be seeing this sometime this week. Not exactly sure when, because I don't know when I'm going to schedule it just yet, but I am recording some things in advance so that I have some stuff put up. Anyway, I just got back from an amazing journey. And now, if you've been around a little bit, then you know that I do have Italian heritage. Both sides of my family have Italian heritage, so I am blessed to be where I am right now in Sicily, to be closer to where my family is from. They're not from Sicily, they are from mainland Italy, two different areas, vastly different regions of the country. But my parents would not have met had their family stayed in Italy. Now, I am glad that they moved to America so that, all of this could happen, but I have always wanted to know more, and my grandparents told me some, my dad's parents told me some, like I knew the name of the town, I knew surnames, I knew who had married whom, and all of those things, but I didn't know a whole lot, and I didn't know past my great grandparents' names. And yes, I could do things like ancestry and all of that, but knowing isn't the same as seeing and being there. And I remember from the very first time that I ever went to my grandparents' house, they used to have this picture. It was a painting of the town that their family was from, because my grandparents, my dad's parents, both of his grandparents had people from the same town. So my great grandparents, my grandfather's dad, and then my grandmother, both of her parents on my dad's side, were from the same town. Now, my bisnonna, the one who taught me to crochet, was from a different town. But they all knew each other, right? And it was amazing to know all of that information and be able to see this picture and this flower. So they had all of these things in their hallway leading up to their apartment. So they had a two-family home. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically like two apartments. But you walk in and there's a foyer, and there's usually a staircase going up, and then there's a walkway going forward, and there's an apartment on the first floor or the ground floor, and then the second floor is usually an apartment as well. They're laid out usually the same-ish, but anyway, my dad's parents had a two-family home, and my nonna, my beast nonna, but I call her Nonna, She lived on the bottom floor for health reasons. And then my grandparents lived on the upper floor. So going up those steps, there were always family photos of people I had never met. I mean, other than seeing their picture and knowing the information that my grandparents would share with me, I didn't know who they were. And there was always this painting of the town. It was like a rectangular painting, and next to it was a flower. It was big, dried flower, and it had the name of the town in the background of the frame. And I remember every time I would go there, every time I'd walk up the steps, I would tell myself, I'm going to be there one day. I want to see that place one day. I never knew if it was even going to exist when I became an adult, right? Because so many places and small towns and things like that do disappear over time, unfortunately. So, and forgive me if I get a little emotional with this. I'm going to try very, very, very hard not to, but I make no promises. So when this opportunity came to me to move to Sicily, that was the first thing that I thought of. Like, I can find a way to get there. And I did. I've done a lot of research. I have found relatives. And this past week, I was able to go and experience the town and the surrounding area. Not only was I able to do it, I was able to take my children with me. It was so amazing. When we were driving, well, we got to a certain point and we were driving, I was like, this is the region. Like, we crossed that line. And in Italy, there are white signs, and they'll have the name of the region that you're entering, and then underneath it, and they do it with towns too, they have a sign with a red slash mark saying you're leaving the previous region or town or whatever. And when we got there, I was like, this is it, this is it, this is it. And I was overcome with joy and this sense of gratitude for being able to do this and being able to take my kids. Now, the significance of this journey won't be the same for them probably ever, especially my daughter, because she's little. And by little, I mean she's, under 10. So, this is just like an adventure to her. And my son was like, I was like, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. And he was like, Ma, keep your hands on the wheel. And I was like, and he was like, I'll do it. So as I was driving, he took pictures, so many just different things. I mean, they're not even specifically like landmarks or anything in particular until we got to the town. And we had to drive through. And unfortunately, the place where we stayed was not in the town. It was very, very close, but it was not in the town. So we spent 2 whole days and 1 partial day. I got to meet relatives. I got to see what used to be a family home. It's no longer in the family, but I did get to see it, and I did get to go to the cemetery and see markers of so many just generations of family past, my grandparents, you know, well beyond. And I was just, every moment was beautiful and wonderful. And I wanted to find a way to hold on to that. And I was able to do that in two ways. I'm going to reach over quickly and grab this. So, the last day that we were there, the town that we were staying in was it was raining, and I don't mind the rain at all, honestly, as long as I don't have to walk super far. I don't mind if I don't have an umbrella. It's okay. Usually I'll take my glasses off and either tuck them inside my shirt, like face down up against my skin, um, or if I have like a long sleeve cardigan, I will tuck them in my cardigan, because I can still see. Um, so I can, because it's worse when it's on my glasses, because then I can't see and then I gotta take them off anyway. So there were these tarps all along one side of the road. And I was like, what's over there? Let's go see. Like, you know, curious, let's go look. And they were vendors. They were, you know, it was like a little market of sorts. And unfortunately, the items that I used to stare at growing up um, are not around anymore. They were um, they were gotten rid of. That's what happened. They were gotten rid of. So I wanted to find something that would commemorate my journey. And I was looking, and I mean, there were some cute little knick-knack things, but there were two things that I really wanted. One of them was too big. I couldn't get it. I so wish I could have, but we only traveled with backpacks. We weren't going to be there for very long. We just took some changes of clothes, you know, grooming items, and that was it. We didn't really travel with a whole lot. So I couldn't get anything like that. It was this set of clay panels, and they were hand painted, and it had like, oh, I tried to take a picture of it, and the lady was like, no, 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 no photo, no photo, no photo. And I was like, okay. So I wasn't trying to copy her work. I just was like, I want to remember that I want this for later. But I couldn't. She didn't allow me, so whatever. But there was one thing that I did find, and it was this. So trying to tilt it where the glass is not reflecting on the camera. These are all hand-picked and dried flowers from the area. And my dad's family is from the Trentino region of Sicily. Not Sicily. Oh my God, no. Sicily doesn't have a Trentino region. The Trentino region of Italy, which is all the way up, the very top, in the Dolomites. And this is the name of, it's in Italian, but this is the name of the company, the lady who does the work. I'm trying to block the light so maybe it'll focus. Focus. My eye's not even in it. Maybe there's too much there to focus on. But anyway, this flower here was the one that my grandparents had. It was probably about this big, in a frame like this, and it had the name of the town above it. This is a smaller version, of course, but I thought that I could have something similar but have my own. So this is called Edelweiss in German, or in Italian they call it Stella Alpina, so the Alpine Star, right? And it represents many of the towns of the area in the Trentino region, and this is going to go up in my room so that I have it, and it's protected from the sun because I don't want these to. I could hang it up in here somewhere, but I'm just too afraid that the sun would damage the flowers, and I want to keep it in a place where there's not as much sunlight so that it's a little bit more protected. But the lady was very lovely, and all of these were picked in the Dolomites. So maybe I can contact her and see if I can get a recreation of something that my grandparents used to have. But also, while I was there, and before I went there, I was looking, as we do, if there were any yarn shops. Why not, right? And there were two, actually, in the town that my family is from. And I went to both of them. One of them was your everyday things you need to make the items of your home yarn shop. They had acrylic, cotton, wool. It was very, these are the things that you need to make items that will sustain you throughout the crazy cold winters and all of that. And then right across from it was a hand-dyed yarn shop. And when I looked them up, I was like, oh, wow, they're really close to each other. I didn't realize that they were literally across the sidewalk from each other. But I will show you some video of just the wall of yarn that was in the one shop. The rest of it was like socks and other like household items, some clothing, all that kind of stuff. So you'll see that here. And now I'm going to show you the yarn shop that I went to for the hand-dyed yarn. Now, please, please, please forgive my camera. I was a little emotional in filming because I had just met some relatives and we had a pretty emotional discussion. So some of my camera movements may be a little quick, and I apologize for that. I hope that you can still see everything. It's about a minute and a half video. It will be muted because I did promise the store owner that the conversation that they were having would not be in the video. The owner will be in the video. There's someone else in the video, but you won't hear anything. So I will put that up here. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that. The owner, Marguerite, is absolutely wonderful. She really helped me in talking through the things that I wanted to do and helping me find what I was looking for. So what I want to do with the yarn, and I'll show you that in just a moment, I want to do something that will be something I can hang up, like a mandala or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be huge, but I want to find something that has peaks and valleys and different things like that to represent um, the region. And I wanted to get yarn to represent the region as well. So I have 4 hanks of yarn here, and they are all hand dyed by Marguerite, which was the blonde lady you saw in, excuse me, the blonde lady you saw in the video. She is the owner and the dyer of the yarn. Now, two of these are mystery yarn. So they are sourced from animals around the area. And then 2 of them are not. So that's why I don't necessarily want to put them in clothing, especially the one yarn, because, well, I'll show you in just a minute. But these are the ones that I picked out with her help. So you have 2 of these, and these are the mystery yarn. They're both like a tonal green, very pretty. And towards the end here, I will show you some pictures of the region so you can see sort of the inspiration, because I was talking to her about the colors that I've seen, because I mean, I went there in summer, I didn't go there in winter. Winter, it would be full of snow. I mean, it would still be green, but it would be very white and lighter blue and all of those things. So these colors represent the time that I was there. And so she helped me coordinate all of that when I told her what I was looking for. But you will see pictures of the region. So this is the mystery yarn, and it is 100 grams and 400 meters. And the color is just 3/8 and the letter U. It's 70% of something and 30% of something. Hand washed cold water. And Marguerite does have a website, which I will put up. This one is hand dyed sparkle yarn. I don't know if you'll be able to see the sparkle. Yeah, a little bit. So this is the one that I'm afraid to put in like a wearable or something, because that sparkle is just going to come right out. Like, I'm afraid it's going to come out while I'm working with it. But she did not have this in anything that didn't have sparkle in it, because she dyes in certain batches. And I think she said she dyes like 3 colorways at a time. Whoa, way out of focus. Hello. Hello. So I think she said she dyes 3 colorways at a time. So this is just what she had left over. Ah, I'm back. So, you know, I wanted those colors. I wanted the blues and the browns and the greens. But this was all that she had. So, I mean, it will work for what I want it to work for, but I don't want to necessarily put it in a wearable, because I don't want the sparkle to disappear. And then this gorgeous yellow with the oranges and there's a little bit of brown, I think, just because it's mixed in with the red and it's become a different. This one is beautiful as well, very tonal. So I have these, and I'm just going to do one of the green here. They're all 400 grams. This one in the middle is 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% lurex. And they don't have color names, just numbers. I think she does it with the dies. So this is the one in the middle is 17, 48, and 32. So I think it's just the different colors that are in there. And then this one didn't have a band on it, but it is superwash merino. It is 400 grams, and they're all a fine weight yarn. So I want to do something with all of these together, something that I can hang up, or I don't know, maybe make different pieces of things. I really don't know. I think in my mind when I bought them, I think a mandala was like something that I could put all together to combine the colors. I would really have to pay attention to where I wanted the colors to be and the stitches. I don't necessarily want to make squares out of them because I feel like that might take away, because then I'd have to piece it together, and I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe a table runner, maybe I don't know. I'll figure something out, but that is what I purchased while I was there. There were more things that I could have gotten and different things, but I think she really helped me in the right direction because I had 2 of these and 1 of something else that was more blue, but I ended up not getting that because it didn't really represent the time that I was there. They all would have gone, they were all the same kind of yarn. They all had sparkle in them, but they didn't necessarily go together with what I wanted. So, with that being said, I hope that you enjoy some photos of the region. We had an amazing time, and I have definitely been invited back. So I'm hoping to maybe make it a regular trip while I'm here to go and learn different things and meet different parts of the family and just get to know as many people as I can. Because, I mean, I got to make it back, and I thought that was one of the most beautiful things and the most beautiful dreams that I've had for a long time, to be able to realize that, and to be allowed into people's homes. I mean, they're relatives, but they're strangers, and they were so welcoming and so kind and generous, and of their time, of their knowledge, of just their space. I was just so overwhelmed. And I'm not going to show you, of course, any pictures of my family or anything like that, because I don't have their permission to show any of those. But I can show you pictures of the town and of the region and, the drive that we took and things like that. So those I will definitely share with you. And if in time I get permission to share, other bits, I will do that. But as of right now, I'm gonna, give them their privacy, of course. And again, I hope you enjoy the pictures, and I appreciate you allowing me to share this really, really special time and visit with you all. So as always, be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!